Hello, everyone. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. Today on our show, we are going to have Phoenix. Phoenix is from San Diego in California in the USA. So let's see what Phoenix has to say. Enjoy the interview. So hello, Phoenix. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Thanks so much for taking the time this morning for the interview
This
or
morning.
this morning.
This morning.
Amazing. So tell me, how is your morning going so far?
So far, so good. I actually got up at a decent time, so already that's a win in my book.
Tell me where you're from.
So right now I live in San Diego, California.
That's the place you were born and raised?
No, so I'm actually originally from Arizona,
Mhm.
the state right next to California. So I was born and raised there, and then I've been in San Diego for a little over 2 years.
And why they moved from Arizona to San Diego?
I spent actually a lot of time growing up visiting San Diego.
Mhm.
Um, I just always loved it here, and then I knew that there was quite a large like gay community, gay presence in the city.
Mhm.
Um, which is something that I definitely did not have in Arizona.
Right.
Um, so basically, my whole plan was once I finished school, back home, was to move out here, and and then it happened.
And how long? Sorry. And what do you like the most about living in San Diego?
Uh, there's so much. um, the weather is amazing. The people, there's just like a very laid back,
Mhm.
very chill vibe to the city, and I love the beach. Um, so yeah, there's just so much to explore and do here.
How far are you from the beach right now?
So um, I could get to a couple different beaches in about 15 to 20 minutes.
Oh my God, so lucky.
Yeah. So I
And
love it.
what do you do for work, Phoenix?
So right now, I'm in like adult entertainment,
Mhm.
and I pretty much do that, and then like modeling, um, as well as like so there's like studio adult entertainment, and then like more like DIY. So I do all sorts of
What the
all of that.
DIY means stands for?
Like do it yourself, like
Ah,
um
you just made my day now. That I love it. And so, tell me a little bit about your career as a creating adult content. How the idea came along, how everything started.
It's funny. I actually never really expected myself to be doing this. Um, so when I moved out here to San Diego, I had finished my undergraduate, and the opportunity arose to pursue my master's degree. So I entered into a master's program, and school school is just very expensive here in the US, obviously, especially when you're getting your master's. And basically my spring semester of my first year, my loans and tuition kind of got there was a little bit of a like mistake that was made. So I found out from the school that I owed a bunch of money that I didn't know I owed them. And at that point, I was already working for the school, and then I had a weekend job. So I was like, I have no idea how I'm going to come up with all this money they're expecting. And that's around the same time a producer, for a studio that's in town, had approached me. Um, and I was like, I wouldn't normally consider doing this, but I really am kind of in the situation where I need to. And um, so that's how I started.
Mhm.
And I was honestly kind of, I was, I was scared that when I would do it, that like I would be very ashamed or embarrassed or regret it or, you know, all the above. Um, and I actually felt like very liberated. Um, and like I just found myself really enjoying it. So that's kind of like where I'm at now. I've just been pursuing that.
Amazing. And do you work just for studios, or you also do collaboration with other guys as well?
Yeah, so I do both. I do both. Yeah.
I see. Cool. So during the journey, I'm going to explore a little bit more about your career, about your joys in life, and also your point of views. Okay.
Awesome.
So before we start our journey, William the Magic Box, I would like you to tell me something interesting about yourself.
Something interesting about myself. So a lot of people wouldn't guess it, but I'm actually I'm half I'm half Mexican on my mother's side, and so I'm completely bilingual. So I'm fluent in Spanish, and I can read and write in Spanish.
Amazing. So you grew up using both languages.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Did you ever get to to live as well in a in Mexico or not?
Yeah. So my mom, in the summer and in the winter, she would like drop me off with her parents, and so I would stay there for like extended periods of time, which I'm so grateful for now.
Wow, beautiful. What's your favorite Spanish word?
My favorite Spanish word. Oh, I don't. That's a good question. I haven't thought about that. Um, let's see. Tequila.
All right. Okay, Phoenix, are you ready to go on a beautiful journey through your memories in life and share your point of views?
I'm ready.
Amazing. Welcome to William and the Magic Box. This is my best friend. Okay? Full of random fun questions. I'm just going to play a song now just for us to relax a bit before the first question, okay?
Okay.
Do it. I'm not... Right. So during the journey, if there is a question that you don't want to talk about for some reason, you don't want to answer, always can change, okay?
Okay.
Right. First question for you is, what's your favorite holiday season of the year?
My favorite holiday season of the year. Oh, that's a good question. I would have to say this is very American, but it would have to be like the July 4th holiday. I love the summer. I love July. I love the weather. So that's probably got to be my favorite.
So tell me one of your celebration that you always going to remember during this time, 4th of July.
So actually, it was the past 4th of July. We had a bunch of friends come in to visit us from Arizona, and we all went to the beach and just had like a huge beach day. We were just like hanging out, eating hot dogs, and it was just so like peaceful and relaxing. And then at night, they always do like a huge fireworks show. So we just got to enjoy that like with all our friends. So that's one that I'll definitely won't forget.
Amazing. Next one. Hey, Phoenix from San Diego in California. Next question is, what would be the title of your memoir?
The title of my memoir. I think it would be Never a Dull Moment.
Tell me why.
I just I'm never bored. There's never, there's always something going on, whether that be good or bad, whether it be an obstacle or a celebration. So I would say that.
Saying that, Phoenix, tell me, what do you like the most about being yourself? What's something that you go like, you know what? I like that. I like this way of me being.
I would have to say that I am constantly learning. Um, and, sometimes it is through making many, many, many mistakes, but I still feel like there hasn't been any sort of mistake or slip up from which I haven't learned something either about myself or about life in general.
Mhm.
And I just enjoy that, like, no matter how old I get, I'm always going to be a student in this life.
Wow. Tell me one of the latest lesson that you've learned through life, that life taught you somehow, if you can share, and if you remember something that you go like, you know what, that was a good lesson.
I think it would have to be that no matter how much you plan or what plans you think you have for yourself, life is just sometimes has something else in store,
Mhm.
and that it's it's always probably better not to fight it, but to try to adapt and enjoy it, because um, whenever I've kind of like fought what is supposed to be happening or what is going on in life, that hasn't always led to the best outcomes. So roll with the punches and enjoy the
Mhm.
ride.
So interesting. I like that. I think sometimes, as you said, we plan things, you organize things, you think that, okay, that's going the right direction. And suddenly it goes on the side. You somehow turn around the journey, you go like, oh my God, I was expecting that. And the funny thing is, you're not expecting, but when you go around the rides and you go like, ah, now I understand why it went that direction.
Yeah, it's always
You know?
like, oh, this is how
Yeah.
it was meant to be.
Yeah. It might take time, sometimes take a while for you to understand or to get over it or to just get the idea, but one point you're gonna look back and you're gonna go like, yes, now I understand why you went that direction.
Exactly, yeah.
Not easy sometimes, not easy,
No.
but it's part of the journey, and that's what makes life interesting. I think if it would be just beautiful sky, sunshine every day, it would be boring. We wouldn't learn anything.
Boring.
So we need
Exactly.
those, we need those like curves in life sometimes, for sure.
Definitely.
Next question. I want to see the Mexican moves. Where is the Mexican move?
I wish.
Before the next question, tell me what's the best part of creating adult content? What do you like the most? What the best joy of it? And also the flip side, what's something that you find very challenging?
I guess what I like about it so much is it's like so like unapologetic. In a certain sense, it's like very raw. Um, you're definitely um, you're kind of just laying it all out there for the entire world to see. And I used to be very closeted. Um, I used to be very, uh, worried that, oh, if I am gay, like I'll never reveal it. I'll never come out to the world in that way. I'll just bury it forever. And then this is just the polar opposite. It's like, no, this is who I am, and I'm you I'm showing it all to you. And I love that part about it. It's that like I said, just like unapologetic. Um, but again, that can also be like I said, you're being very vulnerable um, for, you know, an audience. And sometimes that can really mess with your head as well. So it's a double-edged sword, but I at the moment I tend to I get a lot more out of it in like the positive sense.
And sometimes when you get, you know, as you said, sometimes can be a bit, if you don't have your mindset kind of, you
Hmm.
know, settled. Tell me, what do you do if for some reason you feel like, you know what, insecure, or maybe, you know, you got like maybe a nasty comment or maybe something that you're not expecting? How do you do to ground yourself, to balance, to go like, you know what, that not get into it?
I just remember I you just have to, like, when I see like a mean comment or something,
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm just as capable of making a mean comment or thinking something like that. And when I do, it's out of insecurity. It's because of something that, you know, is bothering me. So when I see something like that, I'm like, that person is probably like insecure about something and now they're lashing out. And it's important not to let, you know, that drag you down, but to recognize, like, you know, unfortunately that's something that that person is dealing with.
Mhm.
And it's, you know, that says more about them than it does about me. And so, and like I said, I'm just as capable of seeing something and trying to pick out a flaw or find an error with it. And then I have to remind myself, like, no, think about why you're like honing in on that. That's probably something that you have to deal with yourself, and not in like not in a negative way, like by you know, saying something mean or nasty.
Yes, I strongly believe that those people, you know, when they do that, actually they admire you. They do, but they don't know how to deal with that. Maybe they want to be like you. Maybe they want to do the job that you're doing right now, the way you're expressing yourself. And for one reason or another, they cannot do that. So what they do? They attack. That's what I
Hmm.
believe. There are two different kind
Yeah.
of people that admire us. They admire us and they go like, you know what? They clap to you. They feel happy to you. In the other side, you know, they do admire you as well, even more sometimes, but they don't know how to deal with that, so they attack. That's
Yeah.
what. Okay, next question for you is: what is the most beautiful thing someone has ever done for you?
Oh my gosh, the most beautiful thing someone has ever done for me. Um, so when I first moved out to San Diego, I was moving in with a friend that I had met in college. Um, and uh, it was like, I think the second week that I had moved out here, she was like, "Hey, listen, like to celebrate you moving out here, I got us a spa day. So I'm I'm gonna blindfold you and I'm gonna drive you to the spa and it's gonna be a surprise." And I was
Oh,
like, "Okay, I love a spa." And so she blindfolded me, she drove me to this place, and then we got out the car and she like led me to this spa. And she took off my blindfold and we were at this house and all my friends from back in Arizona were there.
oh my!
And they were like, surprise, and they had this huge banner that was like, you made it, and you know, like, Arizona's gonna miss you, but like now you're like about to live your dream in San Diego. And no, I mean, I mean, I had like surprise birthday parties as like a kid, but this was like, it just meant a lot because I really, really was not expecting it at all. Like, they completely surprised me, and it was just like, I
Wow.
felt so loved.
Did you cry?
Oh yeah, for sure, a little bit. Yeah, I teared up.
Do you know what's funny? When you said when she was about to take your blind, I thought you said a lot of naked guys waiting for you in the house.
That's a different dream. That's
You see, I'm giving ideas now to your friends. You see,
yes, please, please.
next one. Ok, Okay, Phoenix, next question for you is, what is the worst thing someone can say on a first date?
Oh, the worst thing someone can say on a first date. Oh, there's probably so many like bad things, but the worst thing. Mm, I think the worst thing someone can say on a first date is if they talk about like a significant other, like a previous relationship. Anytime that I've been on a date and the other person brings up um, maybe like their ex of a few years, total like just huge turn off. I'm like, I'm not a therapist. Um, we're here to maybe pursue something new. So don't drag the old into this. So bringing up any kind of previous relationship, I think, is a huge no-no.
Saying that one person to go on a date with you, what this person must have and must not have?
Must have and must not have. They must have confidence.
Mm-hmm.
That's key. And they must not have like any kind of, I would say, any big expectations, because those can just sometimes lead to disappointments, especially in the moment. Like I said, sometimes you think you have this huge plan and you're like, oh, I'm going to go on this date and it's going to go like this. And then when it doesn't, you know, that can really derail people. And no, that's not, not fun.
Tell something, how is let's say the dating life or relationship in San Diego? Do you think the gay scene is easy to maintain a relationship, or it's like the stereotype of big cities, you know what I mean? Like easy, so many people around, you know, people on apps is easy to find the next one, you know, this kind of thing. Do you find in San Diego? How's your opinion on that?
It's definitely not the easiest to date, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of feels like either guys are already in a relationship and they're either, you know, in a closed relationship, or there's a lot of guys here that are in open relationships. So it's like they're already seeing someone and they'll like open up the relationship to other people, or they'll play separately. And then there's just a lot of people that aren't looking for that. So if you are trying to date, I think it can be pretty tough here for sure. And again, like you said, it's one of those big cities, lots of gays, so there's never that like feeling of like there's so many fish in the sea. There's, you know, always more.
Personally, for you, the fact that you you know, create adult content, do you think it's something that kind of hold you back regarding that or not? People, they are very accepting, people, they are very open-minded, and it's something that doesn't bother them.
There are a lot of, I feel like, very accepting people, where it doesn't bother them. But you know, on the other hand, I feel like there is, you know, there's just people that like aren't they don't they're probably they like the content but they're not necessarily trying to pursue or be with someone that is creating it. So, you know, I feel like there would have been a point in my life where that would have really weighed heavy on my mind. And I think part of this whole journey of like liberation and expression has been like, forget what, you know, people think one way or the other, and just live how it makes me happy.
Amazing. Ready for another one?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Right, before the next question, tell me how was growing up a gay boy back in Arizona, and also you spent some time in Mexico. So tell me a little bit about your journey for you. How was it?
It was tough. I would say it was really tough. Because like there's not a. I mean, there might be a manual now, but there wasn't a manual for me. I had no idea. Like, it's like you look back now and you're like, oh my God, duh. Like, of course, I wanted to play with all the little, like the dolls, and like, I wanted to put dresses on, and like, I wanted to hang out with all the girls. But it's like, you don't, you're just a kid. You don't know like and then you get all this negative, pushback from like everyone around you. Like, why are you playing with dolls? Like, what are you, a girl? And it's like, oh my God, like I didn't know any of this was like wrong.
Yeah.
So like I said, I think that I carried that with me for a very long time. And I think that I had, like, being in the closet, it's like you're creating like a mental prison for yourself, that you you put yourself in. So like getting out of that, is definitely a process, but I mean, I'm very happy now, and I don't regret how anything played itself out.
Um, did you come out to your family one point or not? And the day when you came out, did something happen, or you just felt like, you know what, I'm gonna be my true self from now on?
Actually, so my parents are separated, but my dad actually asked me, when I think I was like 24,
Wow.
23 or 24. He asked me, like, he's very conservative, military, guy, and uh, I was shocked that he asked me, and I was like, well, this is my opportunity, because I can't even believe that he's asking me. So that's how I came out to him, and he was very accepting.
Wow.
He was like, I still love you. Um, he's kind of, it was a very dad moment. He was like, you know, th- a lot of really cool people are gay. And I was
Wow.
like, yeah, yeah, good.
That's amazing.
Um, so, so that was, for coming from him, I was very shocked. And then I came out to my mother on my 25th birthday. I just felt like I was ready. I was actually waiting for my abuelita, for her mother to pass away, until I was going to come out, because I just knew there's such like a generational difference and cultural difference, that I knew that my grandparents on my mom's side would never understand, and that's not their fault. Like,
Mhm.
they grew up in rural Mexico. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not. But I came out to her. I asked her. I was like, "Do you know this? Like, do you know that I'm gay?" And she was like, "I had no idea." Which I
Wow.
was like, "Dang," because everybody else has been telling me that they knew for years. But um, but she even said, she was like, "I'm sure that was very difficult to do." Um, and she was straight up. She was like, "It'll be difficult for me to accept." Um, at first, and she called it like a lifestyle, and she just, she doesn't understand. But for how conservative and religious she is, I thought she took it pretty well.
Do you think deep inside she knew it somehow?
I don't know how she wouldn't, but she said she did it. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Very interesting. Usually,
Yeah.
our moms, they know us so well, sometimes even better than ourselves, don't they? Sometimes, like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know.
when their religion involved, or society, it can be a bit tricky. Sometimes they don't even think about it. Sometimes they're so trapped, sometimes in the way, that sometimes
Yeah.
they see your son coming back home with a big wig and everything. I'm joking. They're like, oh, why were you big? You know what I mean?
Interesting.
I like your high heels. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Right. Next question for you is, what would your, no, sorry, what would be your ideal day?
Ideal date
Day.
or day?
No date, day.
Day?
Yeah.
Well, my ideal day is there's not a cloud in the sky. It's very sunny, very warm, and probably a beach day. So get a few friends together, get the beach bag, and just go to the beach. Ideally, like for like the entire day. Watch the sunset at the beach, go home, and then um, like put a bunch of like aloe vera on or something because we're probably looking like lobsters at that point. Um, that's my ideal day. It's just a full day spent by the ocean at the beach, just enjoying everybody's company.
Do you consider yourself to be more of a day or night person?
It honestly just depends. Some days I'm like I live in the day and I'm soaking it up, and then other days I'm more of a night owl and I'm like okay, it's maybe we're going out for the night, we're going dancing or going to a concert, and then we're up till like 5 in the morning. So I can be both. I can be both for sure.
Amazing. 3 questions left for you. Let's do it.
Okay.
Before the next question, I'm going to ask you 2 questions in one, okay? So
Okay.
the first part of the question is, tell me if you could choose anyone in the world to do a collaboration for your adult content, who that would be? Like you can choose anyone. And the other part of the question is, tell me through your career a moment that you go like, you know what, that moment I will always remember. That was something special, or maybe someone special that you were collaborating or making, a content that you go like, you know what, that was a moment that's always going to have a special place in my heart.
Okay, so if I could collaborate with anyone, does this person have to also be?
No, anyone.
Okay, well, there's this an Italian model. His name is Pietro Baselli. I don't even know his sexual orientation, honestly, but I think he's one of just the most beautiful men on earth. And I've been following him for like probably a decade now. So in an ideal world, it would be him.
It doesn't matter his
Pietro.
oriental sexual orientation anyway. It doesn't matter what he likes. You just want him to do with him anyway.
So Pietro, if you're hearing this,
All of you.
yes, please, God. And a special moment in, gosh.
It doesn't need to be special, but something like you go like, you know what, that was a moment like interesting, or you learned something, or maybe something that you remember.
It would probably be with one of the first scenes I ever did, and the cameraman was like, "Oh, do you want to see like some of it?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah." And he like played a little clip of it, and I was like, "Oh my God!" I was like, "It looks like that." Like I was like, "Oh wow, okay, well, I like that. I think that looks pretty good." So I'll definitely I will forget that that moment.
As you mentioned before, that it's someone in the same business, yeah? So if you could choose someone in the same business, who that would be?
So there's this content creator. I'm pretty sure he lives in Spain, Spain or Portugal, but his name is like Anjiru. He's so hot. He's so sexy. I've also been following him for a while, and that would be, I feel like, a huge milestone in my career if I were to ever get to work with him. He's amazing.
Hopefully
Highly recommend.
Hopefully he's watching the interview right now, and maybe he's coming
Oh my God.
or you're flying to Europe. You never know, it can happen.
I would I would swim to Europe to work with this man. So
If
whatever I
you
gotta
meet,
do.
if you meet each other because of the show, I would like to see a scene, okay, in private. We need to
Okay.
see.
I'll do a shout out.
It happens now, William, because of you. Okay, done. With the Italian guy as well. Okay, the
Oh,
big.
please.
Right. Next question is: tell us something that you have done that you feel very proud of yourself.
So something that I've done that I'm very proud of is actually was getting my bachelor's degree. So graduating from university. I actually so I went to school in my hometown. There was a big university where I grew up. But when I started school, I was 18, had no idea what I was doing. So I did 3 years and then I flunked out. So I was kicked out of school because of my grades.
Wow.
And then I spent about a year just like doing nothing. I was working all these dead end jobs. I was at a very low point in my life. And I finally just kind of like snapped. And I was like, if I live like this forever, I can't do this anymore. And so I went back to community college. I did about almost 2 years in community college. And then I went back to the university that I had been to, and I finished my degree. I went back with this very special program where they basically they forgive your past record so long as you do well when you return.
Wow.
So yeah, I got to go back. I got to finish my degree. I took it. I was in a much better place at that point. I knew what I wanted, and I knew I wanted to be a good student, and I wanted to actually get something out of my education. I didn't want to just party and hang out with friends. And that's the same university that my mother went to. So that was really important for me to like. I was like, I don't want to leave this town until I finish this, and I can say that my mother and we went to the same school. We're alumni from the same place, and the fact that I did it my way, where I flunked out, but then I came back, I clawed my way back. I'll always be like just incredibly proud that I was able to accomplish that.
Amazing. And what did you got degree in what?
Political science.
Wow. But are you working right now in this field or not?
No, not not really. No.
Think you're gonna go back one point to this field, or you're gonna carry on with your career?
I'm definitely open to going back in some capacity. Maybe even doing both in some way would be kind of awesome. But I'm definitely like, I'm a news junkie. Like, I'm very up to date with current events. I follow politics very closely.
Wow.
So it's definitely something that is still very present in my life, even if I'm not maybe like working so much in it.
Amazing. 2 questions left. Let's do it. Before the next question, tell me something. What's the biggest misconception that people have from people who create adult content, in your opinion?
I think there's like this misconception that maybe because it can be taboo, that maybe people who are like in this field are there can be this misconception that we're not moral people, or that we're not good people, and that's just that's in anything in life. There's good people or there's bad people or there's people with you know it, I've met some incredible people in this field who are like the kindest, sweetest, most generous people. And then I've met people when I was, pursuing my degree or in grad school who, are, I would say, morally bankrupt or um, exploitative people. Or so, I think that you can't just like, um, uh, what is it? Like label an entire group as oh those people work in adult entertainment, they must be, there must be like something wrong with them, like they must not be moral people.
Interesting saying that. I think never judge the book by its covers. You never know.
Yeah, yeah,
Never.
you never exactly
Uh,
exactly.
I had actually, I have interviewed with a lovely man. He's literally a successful veterinarian, and he does as well adult content. And he 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 talks openly about it. And I asked the same question. He said to me, William, people think that, and actually he said that most of the people around him that he creates content, they are, as you said, they are good people. They have degrees. They have university. They have a lot. They do a lot.
Yeah,
People they have this misconception that people, they are drug addicted, that they are doing things that maybe they're not bringing nothing to the society, and actually it's a big misconception there. And it's great to see people talking about that openly, like you, very brave. You're such a young guy, good looking, you have a career, you have a degree, you're so proud of what you do. And the people, they see that. And I come back to the same point as I did before. Sometimes they want to do the same, but again, they can't for one reason or another. Do you know what I mean? So there are different
yeah,
ways of us expressing ourselves. Sometimes people find easy to judge or point,
yeah.
instead of going like, you know what, I like what you're doing. It's impressive, or this kind of comments. But anyway, thanks for sharing.
Of course.
Next question is, where are you going? Where are you planning to go for your next vacation?
Oh, my next vacation. I don't know. Somewhere warm and somewhere that has a beach. Um,
You don't need vacation. You are already living a
I
vacation.
know. That's why I moved here, because I was like, I don't want to have to keep going on vacation. But hopefully, so the friend that I moved in here, when I moved here, she actually moved to England with her husband. And she wants me to visit her for her birthday in September. So I've never been to Europe, and so we're gonna try to make that happen. So fingers crossed.
Let me know if you come to London.
No, yes, certainly. I mean, I would love to.
Ready for the last one?
I'm ready.
Let's do it. Next question. Before the last question, people watch the interview right now. Maybe they want to adventure themselves, creating good content or doing something, different. What would be your best piece of advice for those people?
My best piece of advice, just make sure that you're in like a good headspace, and make sure that anything that you're doing, you're comfortable with it, because it starts like in here, right? And then it goes outwards. So that's like, as long as you're comfortable, secure with whatever it is that you're gonna do, I feel like that exudes and that really comes off across when it does take place.
Okay. Last question for you is, tell us about your guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure. So I think food is definitely a guilty pleasure of mine. I'm a big foodie. I love sweets. Like, I love them. It's honestly, I feel like one of the hardest parts of being like an adult on your own is like you can just buy
Yeah.
like candy and donuts and and treats whenever you want. um, which can sometimes get me in trouble because I don't have like, you know, a parent or someone to be like, don't stop. So I'll definitely have days where I just binge and I'm I just go all out. That's definitely a guilty pleasure of mine is maybe it's like a rainy day is like I go get like a box of donuts and I just put on a show and I'll finish a show in a day and a box of donuts in that day and then order a pizza and you know, that's a very guilty pleasure of mine.
To understand your point, I'm a big foodie as well. Actually, it made me remember last night I had some interviews, and after I had some dinner, and I was literally in my bedroom just editing some interviews, and I felt like, oh my god, like, I want to eat some chocolate right now. But I have a shop here downstairs, like across the street. They close, I think, around 9 p.m., something like that. And it was like 8:30 or almost 9. I said, okay, I need to go there before they close. So I literally went to the cold. I didn't even put my jacket. I just had like a jumper. I just went very quick there and I got this chocolate bar. And I finished like in less than 20 minutes, the whole thing.
Yum. I love it. I love chocolate.
Right, it's not the end yet. Let's play now the word association game. Okay, I'm going to give away some words. Just tell one word that comes to your mind. Quick thinking. So, I hope you are enjoying the interview. Before we do the word association game, don't forget to give a like, don't forget to share this video, and also don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Just click on the button right there. Thank you so much and enjoy the word association game. Life,
Death,
family,
hope,
money,
power,
love,
loss,
sex,
happy,
politics,
bad,
religion,
suffocation,
fear,
relax,
friendship,
strength,
desire,
jealousy,
regret,
hope,
okay, success,
determination.
wish,
I just keep thinking of hope. God,
happiness,
sadness,
one word for San Diego,
heaven,
one word for Arizona,
home,
USA,
USA, hodgepodge,
okay, Mexico,
roots,
the last one now, adult content creator, one word,
entertainer,
okay. Let's pretend now I'm going to meet your best friend for a coffee, and I'm going to ask your best friends, what is the most beautiful thing about Phoenix, and what's something that he still needs to work on to improve on? What your best friend would say?
they would probably say that I'm very loving and supportive. They could call me or text me in a crisis, and I'd be there in whatever way I could. And they would probably say that I need to work on my timeliness. So they might text me in a crisis and I can say I'm 5 away, but I'm probably like a half an hour away. So they'd probably tell you that I need to work on my time management.
All right. Let's play now, Phoenix and the Magic Box, and you can ask me a question. But before that, let's play the music one more time. Let's do it.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, Phoenix, you can ask me a question now.
Okay, so my question for you is, what is a book or a work of literature that you would say has really like impacted your life, influenced you?
Right. The first book that came to my mind, I read it a few years ago, The Alchemist. I don't know if you heard The Alchemist. And I remember reading it, and something that I'm very spiritual. Yeah, I like being spiritual. I believe a lot of things that about energy, about things in life. And reading that book, it took me in a, let's say, in a more open-minded way of approaching spirituality, being spiritual. And I think The Alchemist is actually, I'd like to read it again because it's been a while now, and I'm sure I'm going to see the message in a different way. You know what I mean? Sometimes you read a book and a while you read it again and you see a different way, And I think that book, always going to be very grateful that somehow it opened my mind to see or to feel it, like being what the real meaning of being spiritual, because I had a different thought about it. And that kind of guide me, in a way that I'm so thankful now because I see in a different way. So yeah, The Alchemist is one book that, yeah, it's Paulo Coelho I don't know if you heard, he's a Brazilian writer, Paulo Coelho. There's so many books. This one actually, one of the, I'm sure you'd love to read it. I know so many people that they read it, and so yeah, I might have it somewhere here actually. I need to back again because I remember at the time I finished like in a few days. I was so into it that I was reading like no stop. And yeah, The Alchemist, Paulo Coelho. It's a book that I had a big influence on, for sure.
Okay, good to know. I'll add it to my list.
Yeah, I'm gonna send the link. I'm gonna send the link of the book so you can check it out. There's an English version as well. I've seen it English, so you can read. Perfect. Or maybe Mexican. For you, it works both ways. So for you, it's cool.
Yeah, that would help.
But in English, for sure, they have in English. It's actually, I think I've seen Madonna talk about it as well. One point, a long time ago. Yeah, I think I've seen her saying she likes him. I know she likes Paulo Coelho, but I remember I think once she mentioned about this book as well. But I had read it before she said. I was like, oh my god, I read this book when she mentioned. Like, oh,
Madonna.
Did this book before? I think she mentioned something about it. Felix, did you enjoy the interview?
Yes, I did. I really did.
Thank you so much for being so open and kind as well and share your experiences in life. I think, again, it's so nice to see, people expressing their true self, without any boundary. They literally, you don't care what people are, are thinking or judging or supporting as well. I think it's so nice to connect with people when they are literally living their truly self. Whatever they are doing, they're just living the way they are. And that's, I think it's fascinating to see, people around the globe just literally living their life, that they're exploring life. They are adventure themselves. They're exploring things, and it's beautiful to see. So thank you.
Before you go,
if you can share a positive message or something that you live by.
So definitely, I would say that the human experience is something so beautiful, and that beauty exists even in the best moments and the worst moments, in pain, loss, but also in celebration. And that it sounds easier than it is, but I myself have seen how short this life can be. So just soak it up, live every moment, even when it hurts. It's good to feel, because when you feel things, it's just a reminder that we're alive and just, lucky to be here.
And when we are feeling those pain, it's suddenly it's a very powerful way because we are learning something. There is always something coming out of that, moments that we don't like to feel it. But when you feel it, we should always look and go, you know what? There is something here that's is gonna help me to grow, be a better person, or learn something that the only way it's going through that path that we don't want to be there, but it's necessary.
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your beach, enjoy weather today. And we keep in touch, okay? It was a pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, did you like the show? Don't forget to give a like, share it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to be part of the show as well, first, subscribe to our channel, and after that, just go to our website, www.williamandthemagicbox.com, and send us a request saying why do you like to be part of the show. And I see you there. Bye-bye. See you next time.